the three amigos. Welcome.
Hi Sue, how are you?
Good. Thanks for coming in at this late hour. I'm going to be tied up with meetings tomorrow morning, but I wanted to get you started on the project as soon as possible. I see you got the files from last night. Excellent. Now, one of my many hats here at the ABC is Q&A producer, and next week we've got a big lineup. So we're going to be doing climate change and the economy, and so far we've lined up Kevin Rudd, Tony Abbott, Alan Jones, Malcolm Turnbull and Bob Brown, so all the alpha males.
Bob is not an alpha male. He's a great bloke, not an alpha male.
Now, Hamish wants to be well prepared and have all the latest information and facts from all the perspectives. So the three of you should cover all the political landscape so we can't be seen to be too biased. Now, the topics are in your folders.
Does that mean we get to meet Hamish?
Well, he's going to want to quiz you on your research, so make a start and we can catch up tomorrow. Holly, why don't you use my laptop and we can send that through to me tomorrow, and so let's go from there.
Thanks,
So coffees before I go?
Oh, latte, please.
There's some organic decaf tea in the cupboard. Thank you very much.
Double espresso, 2 sugars, thanks. No cup, hygiene reasons. Thanks, Sue. Oh, before you go, what's the password to the laptop?
It's the generic ABC one, uppercase, all hail Scotty. Good luck, guys.
Thanks, see ya.
Thanks, Sue.
Hygiene? Really? Did you know last year Australians used 4 million, or was that 4 billion? 4 billion takeaway cups. Single use, not recyclable. What a waste.
Greg, you're a glass half empty type, while I'm more of a glass half full type of lady. Think how many people were employed making them, and the money involved, from the wood, for the cardboard, to the truck driver distributing them. The economy, all of them paying tax that helps us stay at the ABC.
All very interesting, but let's have a look at our topics. Why don't we start with climate change? The facts in these files show all the relevant data, temperatures, etc. No debate there, I imagine. Question is it predominantly man-made or not?
Look, I probably differ from you blokes a little bit. There are enough climate scientists who question the links. Plus, it's a fact the world has had plenty of periods of above average temperatures, rainfall, and general extreme events. It's a dynamic world out there, and we're just living through a hiccup right now.
True, Bronny, but there were no humans on Earth at that time.
And the changes are 30 times faster than ever before.
Plus, we only emit 1.5% of world emissions, so it's a big ask for us to spend billions when we have such little impact in the big scheme of things. As Tony Abbott said, climate change is crap.
Actually, our emissions are 3.6% when you factor in our coal exports. And anyway, I think you'll find that the scientists actually say is that there is a very high probability that humans have contributed to the more extreme weather in the past 20, 30 years. About the same probability that smoking causes cancer. Yes, I know, some smokers live to be 90. My grandfather was one. But that's the exception. Hence the high probability, not fact.
You have a flat and a car, Bronny.
Yeah, why?
So I'm presuming you have them both insured for all eventualities.
Of course, no-brainer.
If they make a claim.
Never.
So for years you've been paying out your hard-earned money to cover an accident, perhaps a break-in, a fire, and it never happened.
Look, I suppose so.
So only a probability that we affect the climate and need to do something like reducing our emissions. Isn't that our insurance policy? Just in case, like your car?
Look, it's a fair point. But it's still not a fact, though. I'll make a note for Hamish about the probability insurance thing. He'll like that. We can cover it in more detail tomorrow. Next topic.
Okay, what about coal exports? Pretty contentious with both sides of politics, especially the unions, to stop or not to stop exports. We're exporting horrendous pollution to China and elsewhere. Great legacy.
Yeah, but the unions have some valid fears for their jobs. There must be a reasonable way to tackle this problem.
Well, as my old dad used to say, there are 4 ways to tackle a problem. The right way, the wrong way, your way, and my way. Now, if that's true, and I believe it is, it seems likely that any outcome is not going to please everyone.
Look, here's my take on coal. In our last financial year, we sold $60 billion worth, a huge amount that helps keep us in our frocks and you in your tuxedos. But the most important thing is this: we export the most efficient, cleanest coal in the world. Now, what if we stop supplying China tomorrow? They need to keep their power stations going to supply all the things that we Westerners want to buy. What they do, they buy dirtier, less efficient coal from other countries, therefore higher emissions. You blokes might feel better, but the fact is, and it is a fact, that the environment will be much worse off. Can you live with that? Also, they are doing a lot of our manufacturing for us. They even make 80% of our solar panels. We just can't have it both ways.
Okay, all reasonable points there, Bronnie, but what I don't understand is why aren't we making solar panels here? There's only one manufacturer in South Australia, and they supply less than 1% of the market. And why do we export our really efficient coal, but then use so much filthy brown coal in Victoria?
All good topics for Hamish. He'll like that.
Okay, moving on. Let's look at alternative energies. Now, Bob said the future would be either green or not at all, and I am with him.
Yeah, Bill said that's an emergency. I'm with him.
Bill? Bill who?
Bill bloody Shorten. He was the leader of the Labour Party for 6 years.
That Bill.
Very funny. Okay, it says here that Australia is the only country in the OECD to produce so much power using coal. 60%, in fact. And another thing we should be looking at, the last OECD report said we were one of the worst performers in terms of policy and planning. Pretty damning, I'd say.
Well, we almost had a plan, but Rudd got rolled and Turnbull got turfed, and it's the cost, of course.
Yeah, the political cost and the financial cost.
Instead of looking at the cost of shifting to renewables and moving away from coal, think of what the cost will be to all of us if we don't.
Okay, so it does come back to forward planning, doesn't it? It says here that the new massive wind and solar farms in Queensland had to halve their output because the electricity poles and wires couldn't cope with all the new energy. A lack of joined up thinking, it seems.
Yeah, but it's only the wealthy socialist countries like Sweden and Norway, for example, that put the emphasis on alternative energy. It ends up costing more for the consumer, which is why so few are pushing it hard.
Hell's bells! Look at these figures for renewable energy supplies to the grid. Scotland, 98% of power. Morocco, 50%. Uruguay, 100%. Up from 40% in 2012. And the list goes on. You have to admit it, if the economics of it didn't stack up, then this drive towards renewables wouldn't be so widespread. Why are we being the ostrich?
It says here that Australia has been producing the most efficient solar cells for the past 40 years. Now, we export that knowledge. Why? You know, there were 3 solar panel manufacturers in Sydney in 1980. Or in the 1980s, to be precise. So surely we can capitalise on that knowledge and produce more of our own solar panels here, not just 1%. A new manufacturing industry. What do you reckon?
Yeah, it's a win-win. More local manufacturing, less pollution, less emissions.
No, Hamish won't like that. Bad grammar. Less pollution and fewer emissions.
She's right, Anton.
Okay, anyway. It's great that we're all on the same page. Looks like our little prep team will be busy for the next couple of days.
What say we retire to the pub, have some locally brewed organic beer, in recycled glasses, of course, and can we all agree on that?
Yes!
I think the ayes have it.
Go. I'd see Hamish there.